the real problem hit.
Voll auf der geraden Strecke, nicht gesehen, voll Stein lag in der Mitte. Echt? Ich hab gedacht, ich hab einen Klapp.
Funny thing is, we didn't even notice it right away. It wasn't until we reached the top of the pass that Jan mentioned he had hit a rock early on the straight section going uphill.
Den Stein hast du mitgenommen?
Just a bit of bad luck. A small rock had deflected up and hit the underside of his engine. That's when we spotted it. A significant amount of oil leaking from his bike. Stefan jumped in immediately. He's exactly the guy you want in that moment. He pulled off the skid plate, took a look underneath and confirmed what we feared. Engine case damage. What looked like a minor impact had actually pushed a small bolt into the engine case, puncturing it and the oil filter cap. Oil was leaking out, and that's the last thing you want, especially if it ends up on the rear tire.
We are at the peak of the Coldemet lane and we just ran into our first problem. Jan hit a hard object on the track and it hit the bottom of the engine and there's oil leaking, and it was quite a dangerous situation because the oil is getting on the rear wheel. So he knows that he was slipping. It's already wet on the track.
First, we had to stop the oil from leaking. We used some of the luggage to carefully lay the bike on its side. When that wasn't enough, a few of the guys went over to a nearby parking area and came back with wooden crates. We used those to lift the tires and stabilize the bike enough to work on it and stop the oil leakage. Luckily, Jan did not crash on the way up the pass with all that oil on the rear tire, but now we had a bike that couldn't move. Visibility was poor, the air was damp and cold, and we were stranded on top of a mountain. But giving up wasn't even a thought. Luckily, I had packed a few emergency supplies for situations just like this. One of them was a 2-component epoxy, rock solid once cured and resistant to high temperatures. I had used it before in a similar issue during an off-road trip, so I knew it could potentially do the job. We got to work, sanding, mixing, cleaning. My brother, who's an orthopedic surgeon, even pulled out some disinfectant spray from the first aid kit to de-oil the area before applying the epoxy. He compared the whole roadside repair to an emergency operating room, where everyone jumps in, knows their role, and everything gets handled quickly and efficiently. We moved quickly, trying to seal both punctures before we lost more oil.